Most people don't realize this, but one of the biggest obstacles to building real wealth isn't a lack of income or bad budgeting or even lifestyle creep. It's something far more subtle, something that feels responsible, mature, and financially wise. It's the emergency fund. Yes, the very thing every financial guru tells you to build, the thing you're supposed to be proud of, the thing that's meant to protect you from disaster. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For a lot of people, the emergency fund becomes a psychological cage, a safety blanket that slowly turns into a straitjacket, a pile of cash that looks like security but behaves like a slow leak. And the worst part? You don't even notice it happening. You feel safe, but you're actually stuck. You feel responsible, but you're quietly losing ground. You feel like you're doing the right thing, but the math says otherwise. And today, I want to walk you through why that happens, how it traps you, and how you can break out of it without exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. Because the goal isn't to get rid of your emergency fund. The goal is to stop letting it hold you hostage. Let's start with the illusion of safety. From the moment you step into the world of personal finance, you're told the same thing. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Keep it in cash. Don't touch it. Don't invest it. Don't think about it. Just let it sit there. And on the surface, that sounds perfectly reasonable. Emergencies happen. Jobs disappear. Cars break down. Life throws curveballs. So having a cushion makes sense. But here's the part nobody talks about. Cash is the only asset guaranteed to lose value every single year. Inflation doesn't care that you're being responsible. It doesn't care that you're trying to protect your family. It doesn't care that you're doing what the experts told you. If inflation is 4% and your bank is paying you 1%, you're losing 3% of your purchasing power every year, quietly, invisibly, relentlessly. And that means your emergency fund isn't just sitting still, it's sinking, slowly but surely. And because the loss is invisible, you don't feel it. You don't get a notification saying, hey, your money is worth less today. You just wake up one day and realize that the same $1,000 that used to cover a month of groceries now barely covers 3 weeks. That's the illusion of safety. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're actually eroding your future. Now, here's where the trap tightens. Once people build their emergency fund, they feel proud. They feel secure. They feel like they've checked off a major financial milestone. And that's good. You should feel proud. But the problem is what happens next. They stop. They stop investing. They stop taking calculated risks. They stop building wealth. Because mentally they think, I'm doing the right thing. I'm being responsible. But responsibility without strategy becomes stagnation. And stagnation is the enemy of wealth. Your emergency fund should protect you, not paralyze you. But for many people, it becomes their entire financial plan. They're so focused on not losing money that they forget to grow money. They're so focused on avoiding risk that they forget that avoiding all risk is the biggest risk of all. And this mindset, this fear of touching the emergency fund, this obsession with keeping it safe is what keeps people stuck in the same financial position year after year. Let's talk about the math, because the math is where everything becomes painfully clear. Imagine two people. Person A keeps $20,000 in a savings account, earning 1%. Person B keeps $10,000 in cash and invests the other $10,000 at a modest 7% return. After 10 years, person A's $20,000 becomes about $22,000. Person B's $10,000 cash stays $10,000, but the invested $10,000 becomes almost $20,000. Total, $30,000. Same starting point, different strategy, different future. That's the power of opportunity cost, the cost of doing nothing, and it's the silent killer of wealth. Most people don't lose money because they make bad investments. They lose money because they make no investments. They sit on cash. They wait for the right time. They tell themselves they'll invest later, and later becomes never. Meanwhile, inflation quietly eats away at their savings like termites in the walls. You don't see the damage until it's too late. And here's something even more interesting. The people who cling the hardest to their emergency fund are often the ones who grew up with financial instability. Maybe they saw their parents struggle. Maybe they experienced job loss. Maybe they lived through a recession at the wrong time. And that fear, that deep emotional fear, gets stored in the emergency fund. It becomes more than money. It becomes identity. It becomes comfort. It becomes control.
And that's why it's so hard to shift the mindset. You're not just moving money, you're moving emotions. You're moving memories. You're moving the story you've been telling yourself about what safety looks like. And that's why this conversation matters. Because you can't build wealth if your financial decisions are being driven by fear disguised as responsibility. So how do you fix this? How do you stay safe without staying stuck? How do you protect yourself from emergencies without sacrificing your financial future? The answer is simple. You stop treating your emergency fund like a single bucket and start treating it like a layered system. Think of it
like a financial onion, but one that doesn't make you cry. Layer 1 is immediate cash, 1 month of expenses. This is your car broke down money, fast, liquid, no questions asked. Layer 2 is your high yield buffer, 1 to 2 months of expenses in a high yield savings account, still liquid but earning better interest. This is your job loss cushion. Layer 3 is your growth reserve, 2 to 3 months of expenses in low risk investments. Not volatile, but not dead cash either. This is where the magic happens. This is where your emergency fund stops being a sinking ship and starts being a strategic tool. And the beauty of the system is that it protects you from everything: short-term emergencies, medium-term disruptions, and long-term inflation. But structure alone isn't enough. You also need automation. If you ever use your emergency fund, automation rebuilds it without emotional friction. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to worry about falling behind. The system rebuilds itself. And finally, you need regular reviews. Life changes. Your expenses change. Your income changes. Your responsibilities change. Your emergency fund should change with you. Reviewing it every 6 months keeps it aligned with your reality, not your past. Now, let's talk about why this works. Not just mathematically, but psychologically. First, it protects you from real emergencies. You still have cash ready for the unexpected. You're not exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. Second, it protects you from inflation because part of your fund is actually growing. You're not letting your money rot in a low interest account. Third, it protects you from stagnation. You're not stuck in safety mode forever. You're building wealth even while staying protected. Most people think the goal is to avoid risk, but the real goal is to manage risk intelligently, intentionally, and with a long-term mindset. And this layered system does exactly that. But there's one more piece, the mindset shift. And this is the part most people struggle with. You don't build wealth by avoiding every possible downside. You build wealth by understanding which downsides matter and which ones are illusions. Keeping too much cash feels safe, but safety without growth is just slow decline. Your money should work harder than you do, and your emergency fund should be the foundation, not the ceiling of your financial life. The moment you stop treating your emergency fund like a sacred object and start treating it like a strategic tool, everything changes. You stop feeling anxious about investing. You stop feeling guilty about growth. You stop feeling trapped by your own caution. You start moving forward again. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with. Look at your emergency fund and ask yourself, is this protecting me or trapping me? Is this helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Is this a safety net or a safety cage? And if it's the latter, now you know exactly how to fix it. Not by taking reckless risks, not by throwing your entire emergency fund into the stock market, but by taking smart, strategic steps that future you will thank you for. Because safety is good, but strategy is freedom. And the moment you combine both, you stop surviving financially and you start building something real.